The Frankie DeBusk Show is a special presentation of the Pioneer Sports Network. The Frankie DeBusk Show with head coach Frankie DeBusk and the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton. Brought to you by
Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda, home of the big deal, located on the 11E bypass in Greenville. Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo, making every day a better day. Your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Green Coach Tours, proudly serving the traveling public since 1945. Andrew Johnson Bank, a strong heritage, a stronger future. Home owned and operated with locations in Johnson City, Jonesboro, Morristown, Cleveland, and Greenville. Creekside Markets, don't pass by, stop by, with 3 locations in Greene County. Special consideration from Comcast Cable through Xfinity.
And now, the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton. Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Brian Stayton.
Welcome into another season of Pioneer Football. Hello, I'm Brian Stayton, to be joined by Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk. This past Thursday night, the Tusculum Pioneers opened the 2014 season. They established 3 NCAA division records for all divisions, I should say, plus set the 4th highest point total of a Tusculum Pioneer offense. Number 1, they set the all-time total offensive mark, minus 100 yards. They set the all-time total rushing defensive yards mark for minus 124. And they also established and tied, I should say, an all-division record with 3 safeties this year. Some will ask, how in the world did that happen? We'll discuss how the Pioneer defense was able to hold the team to minus 100 yards of total rushing offense and total offense coming up here in just a few moments. For the Pioneer offense itself, Bo Cordell, 5 years as the starting quarterback at Tusculum. Someone not named Bo Cordell would start. His name was Malcolm Pendergrass. He would go 9 of 14, 96 yards with 3 touchdowns on the day. Pioneers would also add 5 rushing touchdowns from backup quarterback Kyle Dickey and 4 running backs, which we'll document as we go along in the show today. It was an impressive and a firework-filled first game of the season for the Tusculum Pioneers as they rout the College of Faith Saints by a final of 71-0. We'll talk about it with Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk when the Frankie DeBusk Show continues after this.
Dean, what's wrong?
We all want to go to the game, but I just don't think we have a car big enough for all of us.
Don't worry, Dean. My dad's inside Gateway right now buying us a new SUV that can fit all of us.
What do you think, guys?
Yeah,
let's go!
Hey, Ty, you ready to go to the game?
Yeah, I'm ready to go, Dad, but we have some new people wanting to go to the game.
Well, let's go.
Yeah, I think that will work.
I'm Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk, asking you, like I do my son Ty, to support the Tusculum College athletics all year long. And for your next car buying experience, please visit Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda.
Go Pioneers!
Your Greenville Light and Power System, an electrical distributor of TVA, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Your Greenville Light and Power is dedicated to excellence in service and reliability. Visit online at glps.net. Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo proudly serves Tusculum College and supports Pioneer football. Sodexo, making every day a better day.
Showtime. You know what it is. Everything we do it big. Screaming, that's not. When we step up on the field, that's not. Small town, but we still do it very big. Back in ours, back in ours, back in ours, back in ours. We grind hard for the rings with the diamonds on it. Back in ours, back in ours, back in ours, back in ours.
Welcome back into the Frankie DeBusk TV show. The Tusculum Pioneers knock off the College of Faith this past Thursday night by a score of 71-0. Coach, we talked a little bit in the open about how this team was able to get off to a good start, and I think that your thought going in, you still had a lot of areas to work on.
Well, Brian, one thing we talked about as a staff was just really being fundamentally sound when we came out of the first game. You never really know how your kids are going to play, and it was a great environment, it was a great night, and I think we did some really good things, but I also think we learned some things we've got to go back to work and back to the drawing board and improve on. But ultimately, it's all about winning a ball game, and we found a way to finish the game off. And was excited about how a lot of new faces played. I was excited about how we ran to the football defensively. Thought we made a lot of strides from the first day of camp till now, and we can take this win and put it behind us and move on to the next one.
Well, let's take a look at it so that you can look at it as well. We'll take a look at our first half highlights for Tusculum versus the College of Faith. We talk about the atmosphere and how you guys have really changed some things. David Martin has kind of come in here and says, you know what, we need to have some fanfare, and you guys have definitely added the fanfare.
It's funny you mentioned David's name. He just has a passion for trying to do everything right with Tusculum College, and he's really done a great job with the facilities crowd, and Chad Grindstaff and Randy Bridwell and Matt Gosnell, Buster Scott. That crowd just does an unbelievable job for us, and can't say enough about them. Obviously, you see our kids love the Pioneer Walk. They had a great environment there. They had a great crowd. Pioneer Pete tailgate. Hopefully, it just keeps growing off of that.
Number 14 you see there will be the first quarterback in 5 years not named Bo Cordell to start. That is Malcolm Pendergrass, who will take over the reins here early, and we'll take a look to see how his team and the offense performed here coming up. But electric whenever you have Jeremy Wagner able to bring in the team to the field, a guy who served for his country and now serving his second tour with the Pioneer offensive line.
Yeah, Jeremy he loves the United States of America, loves carrying that flag around, has done a lot for this country, and I'm glad he can do those things and bring our football team onto the field.
Pioneers wearing black, and Kenny Funny had some problems on the opening kickoff, but Justin Houston, the preseason All-America, little problem picking up a loose ball and then taking it 65 yards.
Great job by Justin. We've got to field the kick better. I mean, Kenny Funny can't do that. We've got to catch the football, and Justin does a great job picking up football and taking it to the house. And what a great way to start the 2014 season. First play of the year is a kickoff return for a touchdown.
It goes 65 yards. Justin Houston returned a 99-yard touchdown last year, the longest in school history, against Wingate, so picking up right where he left off. College of Faith went 3 and out, were forced to punt. They would punt it or snap it over the punter's head for a safety. So the Pioneer first offense leading 9-0. Malcolm Pendergrass finds Jonathan Diliberto and then finding Wes Powell.
Yeah, proud of how Malcolm got started. We had some easy throws in our package there to get him rolling. His first college start. And thought he did a good job running the offense and making some throws. And you see Wes there making a catch and doing a good job. Our kids up front really did a good job. They weren't rushing us like we thought they may, and obviously had all kinds of time here. And Jonathan Diliberto was wide open. And the best thing about one that's wide open is we hit him, we caught it. We need to throw and catch properly, and we did that. And gives us an opportunity to score another touchdown.
37-yard touchdown strike, Pendergrass to Diliberto, 3 plays, 53 yards, just 47 seconds. The new kicker, Jose Esparza, adds the point, and the Pioneers would take a 16-0 lead. Defensively, the Tusculum Pioneer defense, we don't highlight them a whole lot in this game, but this is the problem with the College of Faith. A lot of people wonder how they got these many yards, and this is one of the 5 snaps over the punter's head, and you take the short field for yet another score.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They obviously needed to do a little better snapping the football to the punter, and those yards go as minus yards rushing, and that's how that ended up with the record that it was. And we take the football offensively, and Fernando Smith, who's had a great camp, does a great job for us running the football. Just able to walk in the end zone, but that sure wasn't because our kids up front were lacking either. I mean, Patrick Benson and Jeremy Wagner and Max Gobert and Jake Bridwell, and all doing a phenomenal job creating holes for us.
Fernando's 10th career touchdown in a Pioneer uniform. Point after would be good, and it would be 23-0. We'd move into the second quarter, and the Pioneer offense getting going once again as the Pioneers led 23-0 at the end of the first quarter. Defense doing their job holding. Pendergrass would find Houston for 6. Matt Levine would get involved and come up with the first down on the first 2 plays of the drive.
Again, we're executing. We're doing what we need to do offensively. I kept telling our football team I do not really care what the College of Faith does. I want us to come out of here and be fundamentally sound, and we did some good things. And here's what Malcolm can do that people don't realize. He still didn't look like he's capable of looking right there when he tucks the ball down, but he brings a weapon to us back there that he can make some things happen. And does a great job here buying some time, and hitting Big West for a touchdown.
Against 12 defenders, that's what the flag was that you saw come in. Wes Powell, 4 receiving touchdowns last year. He starts 2014 with his first, a preseason All-America for the Tusculum Pioneers. Wes Powell, just 2 catches, 21 yards, a touchdown in the game for the Tusculum Pioneers. Pendergrass threw for under 100 yards, but again, the Pioneers had a lot of the short field. Defense, do want to highlight some of them. Torrey Burrell, 3 yards. Wayne Solii, Matt Simon with the stop. Matt Simon led the team in tackles on the day. A 2-yard game. Matt Simon steps up, makes yet another tackle, and then a sack. And flying in is a guy that you'll be familiar with, played last year, Marlon Joyner.
Yeah, great effort there by Big Mo. I thought our defensive line really handled their offensive line as good as we could ask and put a lot of pressure on their quarterback, made it hard for them to run the football, obviously, and did a lot of great things. And here they kick off after a safety, and I thought we were going to score again there. And it's a great job of catching the football, getting north and south, and making something happen.
Kenny Funny, a 47-yard return, sets up short field for the Pioneers. Pendergrass just, again, using his legs to pick up whatever he can, taking the option. Justin Ware has stepped into the backfield as a wide receiver. But on the second play, it would be Jonathan Diliberto with the touchdown catch. That's his 5th touchdown reception against the Saints of College of Faith.
Great vision there, great protection up front. Malcolm did a good job hanging in there and finding Diliberto in the back of the end zone. And actually, he made a really good catch. That was not an easy catch.
3 catches, 62 yards to lead the receiving corps. Jonathan Diliberto at 5 touchdowns is in 2 years of play. He did finish with 2 touchdowns on the day. So the Pioneers would up their lead after the Diliberto touchdown to 41-0 before the half. And then some disaster for College of Faith. They cough up the ball. Brandon Bartlett falls on it.
Brandon Bartlett's a name that I think we're going to hear a lot about. He was the Defensive Player of the Week this week. Young man that played his first snaps for Tusculum College, and he's playing linebacker for us right now. Played safety in junior college at North Dakota, but just really, really excited about what he brings to the table.
And the Pioneer offense would take over, and all of this drive on the ground. Justin Ware, again, another one of those new faces at running back. Would be remiss not to mention Isaac Robinson, injured, is out for this season. Pendergrass put the ball on the ground, coughed it up, fortunate bounce, came right back up to him, picked up the yards, gets a 1st and goal inside the 9. Pendergrass would keep again, get inside the 5, and then Justin Ware would get his first touchdown as a Pioneer.
Good job here running the offense like we need Malcolm to. Of course, he can't afford to put the ball on the ground like he did. We're lucky it bounced right back up to us once again, or it could have been their football. But we do a good job running the football there, finding a way to get in the zone, and happy for our kids up front for making it happen.
A Tusculum Pioneer football offense that in the first half, with the amount of points that they scored, obviously did not have the amount of yards that you would think would go with all of that. But again, the short field, a lot of it is basically because of the way that College of Faith just couldn't hit their punter. And so the Pioneer defense holds again. They would force a punt. After a fumbled punt return, the Pioneer offense would come back out, and a new running back in the backfield, DJ Haney, the Greenville native by way of Newport, Tennessee, would come in as this drive began. Just under 4 minutes to play in the game, and again, another efficient ground attack.
Yes, running the ball hard. That's big DJ. He's hard to bring down. You know, he's just getting better and better. First college snaps, obviously, he's a true freshman, and excited for some of the things he brings to the table. And Malcolm here does a good job running the offense. We just are doing little things, and we need to continue working on those things to be more efficient as an offense. 5
rushing touchdowns in the game. Every running back that played was able to touch pay dirt, as you'll see DJ Haney. Another note on him, Haney played 1 series his senior year at Greenville High School. And there's a lot of people that would speculate if he had been healthy, would he have even been at Tusculum? So Tusculum, obviously, I think, based on that talk, very fortunate to have the services of DJ Haney, who puts it in, and the point after would make it a 55-0 score as, Coach, we go to halftime.
Wow, whoever dreamed that. You know, we've played well, but they've also created some situations that gives us a football in odd times, and by no means did we expect to be where we were at that point in the game. But we've played good, but we hadn't played that well at this point. But we've got to learn from where we are.
Halftime, the Tusculum Pioneers lead by that score, 55-0 against the College of Faith. We'll take a look at your second half highlights when the Frankie DeBusk Show continues after this.
Andrew Johnson Bank was founded on conservative banking principles. Over the last 30 years, they have steadily built their balance sheet and increased capital by following prudent lending principles and avoiding risky investments. In uncertain times, you can continue to count on Andrew Johnson Bank, your locally owned community bank. A strong heritage, a stronger future. Andrew Johnson Bank, member FDIC.
Gateway Ford on Highway 11E is rapidly becoming the #1 Ford dealer in the region. We're changing the car business for the better. Buying a car has never been easier. No add-on stickers. Plus, we'll appraise your car right up front. You pick the car you like and have your best price in less than 30 minutes. Plus, at Gateway, you'll receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on every new vehicle purchased. The clear choice. Gateway Ford, home of the big deal on Highway 11E in Greenville, or on the web at homeofthebigdeal.com.
Green Coach Charters and Tours has been proudly serving the traveling public for over 65 years and is the official carrier of Tusculum College Athletics. If you have never traveled by Green Coach, may we invite you to join them for an exciting travel adventure. Visit online at greencoach.com.
Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Ryan Stayton.
Welcome back into the Frankie DeBusk TV show. The Tusculum Pioneers season opener against the College of Faith. Very successful as the Pioneers win and lead at the half by a score of 55-0. We take a look at your second half highlights. Coach of Pioneer offense came out, obviously very effective. The defense, haven't highlighted them enough, and I think that we should do that. Kashad Lyons is a guy that I think this defensive line will need, and he brings a lot of pressure on the opening drive.
Kashad's a senior that's playing like a senior. He can be a special weapon for us at defensive end, and there he puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback, gets him on the ground. Kashad's had an unbelievable fall camp. I hope he continues to build off of that and play like he's capable of.
All right, just a couple of notes just to let you know. The second half was shortened to 8 minutes per quarter. Here's Eric Lynch with the reception. I didn't mean to overstep my bounds. Eric Lynch with the catch, came in as a quarterback, decided he's going to play wide receiver with the catch. Kyle Dickey, second team offense is out there, and Kyle Dickey is able to score.
Yeah, good throw there to Eric. Eric's played receiver for about a week now, and he came in battling for the quarterback job. He's so athletic. Felt like we need to play him some at receiver, and Kyle hits him, and then the next play, Kyle gets to keep it and rush in the end zone. And great for Kyle. Kyle's a kid that's graduated, and he's hanging around and helping his football team any way that he can, and obviously it's good for him to get in there and get some reps.
All right, we've got Cameron Talon into the game. We're into the fourth quarter with the Tusculum Pioneers up by the margin of the score of 64-0 right now. This is a catch by Neil Lee from Cameron Talon, 29-yard reception. Joe Leday, that Cajun Louisiana name, that French-type name. Joe is out there running the football, and again, Joe becomes the fourth running back for the Tusculum Pioneers in that backfield. And you coaches had a tough job with all the running back talent that the Pioneers have this year.
Well, we got a problem there, but that's a good problem to have because we got some guys that can play. And David Crawford's coaching our running backs this year for us and doing an unbelievable job getting those kids ready. And running backs always want the ball in their hands, and it's hard sometimes juggling that around. But this was one of those games that everyone that got in there got an opportunity to touch football, and there's another touchdown by one of those running backs.
And another huge opening by that offensive line. Leday gets in from a yard out after a couple of runs of 7 and then of 3 yards for Joe Leday. The Pioneers would add the point after and make the score a 71-0 game. Jose Esparza's kick was good. Jose Esparza finishing the game with 11 points on the game. Now, a lot of people have talked about minus 124 yards rushing, breaks the all-time division mark, the minus 100 yards of total offense, breaking the all-time all divisions mark. I think it'd be appropriate to note that College of Faith was an improved team, I felt, from last year. And if it wasn't for the snaps over the punter's head, no, they had 2 yards of rushing offense, and they were able to throw the ball at times. But I think that bodes well for this defense. With, I think, a bit of an improved team, we're still able to limit them to the yards that they did get minus the bad snaps.
Yeah, I really would have liked to for them to punt the football and give us a chance to see how we responded, and it was very unfortunate that they had long snapper issues, and that's where all those minus yards came from. But I do believe our defensive football team ran around exceptionally well. We looked really athletic at times from a defense standpoint. We got a lot of guys over there that we are returning that we're expecting to look that way. We made some strides. I think we're a lot better defensive football team. However, when you get in a situation like that, it's kind of hard to judge exactly, how good were we, because we didn't have our backs against the wall. The game was flowing in our favor, but now we've got to learn from this film and get ready to get to play a very good Elizabeth City State football team.
Tusculum Pioneers opened the season a second consecutive year in shutout fashion as well. Last year defeated the College of Faith by a final score of 63-0. This year, a final score of 71-0. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of our players of the game. We'll break down the stats. We'll recap the show when we return after this. This is the Frankie DeBusk TV show.
Gateway Ford on Highway 11E is rapidly becoming the #1 Ford dealer in the region. We're changing the car business for the better. Buying a car has never been easier. No add-on stickers. Plus, we'll appraise your car right up front. You pick the car you like and have your best price in less than 30 minutes. Plus, at Gateway, you'll receive a lifetime powertrain warranty on every new vehicle purchased. The clear choice. Gateway Ford, home of the big deal on Highway 11E in Greenville, or on the web at homeofthebigdeal.com.
Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo proudly serves Tusculum College and supports Pioneer football. Sodexo, making every day a better day. Your Greenville Light and Power System, an electrical distributor of TVA, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Your Greenville Light and Power is dedicated to excellence in service and reliability. Visit online at glps.net.
Welcome back to the Frankie DeBusk Show. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers, Ryan Stayton.
Welcome back into the Frankie DeBusk Show. The Tusculum Pioneers knock off College of Faith by a final of 71-0. Second consecutive year that the Pioneers have opened the year with a big win against the Saints of College of Faith. The 3-year contract will run out next year when the Pioneers will travel to take on the Saints. Well, there was a lot of reasons why the Pioneers were able to score as many points. One of those we've documented a little bit. Some special teams problems with the College of Faith gave Tusculum the short field, and the numbers aren't going to match up to the total number of points scored in the game. But we'll try to document that. First, we must start with the guys who are responsible, and we'll start with our Sodexo Offensive Player of the Week. He's an offensive lineman, opened up huge holes for the running game that they allowed the Pioneers to rush for 5 rushing touchdowns. Patrick Benson, a sophomore out of Cleveland, Tennessee, from Bradley Central High School, our Sodexo Offensive Player of the Week. Our Greenville Light and Power Defensive Player of the Week is a young man who comes from Dacula, Georgia, from Dacula High School, Brandon Bartlett, who left to go to a Big Power Division I school right out of high school. Coaching change, went to a junior college, and lands at Tusculum. Very fortunate to have Brandon, the linebacker and the junior for the Pioneers, finish the game with 2 tackles and a fumble recovery in limited time. Our Green Coach Tours Special Teams Player of the Week. He was an All-America coming into the season. He was an all-conference selection last year. Justin Houston, as a kick returner wide receiver, got the season off to a wonderful start. The junior out of Cleveland, Tennessee, Bradley Central High School, returned the opening kickoff 65 yards for a touchdown. He finished with 78 yards of kickoff return yards in the game, plus limited on offense with just 2 catches for 6 yards in his limited time on the field. A Big Dog Award winner this year, shout out to Quez Gaines. It's time now for our Andrew Johnson Bank Call of the Game. And there were plenty of fireworks during the game and after the game, and Justin Houston got things started the right way with an opening kickoff return for a touchdown.
Funny boots it, picks it up, and then it's going to be picked up by an up back, Justin Houston at the 35. Houston making his way to the near side 40, to the 45-50, needs a block, gets one at the 40, 35-30, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the house. Touchdown Pioneers, touchdown Justin Houston, 65 yards unofficially after Kenny Funny boots it, and the Pioneers are on the board.
It's time now for our Creekside Market post-game wrap-up. In the game for the Pioneers, they were able to come up with 118 yards rushing, limiting the College of Faith based on bad snaps from the center to the punter for -124, again, an all-division NCAA record. Net passing yards in the game, Tusculum combining with 3 quarterbacks for 145 yards, 11 of 19 passing, no interceptions. Travis Singleton was 7 of 13 passing in the game for just 24 yards for the College of Faith. Total offense, Tusculum with 49 plays, 263 yards. Total offense for College of Faith, 49 plays, -100 yards of total offense. In the game, time of possession, College of Faith held the ball for 28 minutes and 10 seconds. Tusculum just 17 minutes and 50 seconds in the game. For the contest, red zone scoring opportunities, Tusculum went 8 of 9, scoring 7 touchdowns on their drives, and the Pioneers were able to come up with a couple of sacks as well. Your Creekside Market post-game wrap-up. We wrap up the show with Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk when we return right after this.
Andrew Johnson Bank was founded on conservative banking principles. Over the last 30 years, they have steadily built their balance sheet and increased capital by following prudent lending principles and avoiding risky investments. In uncertain times, you can continue to count on Andrew Johnson Bank, your locally owned community bank. A strong heritage, a stronger future. Andrew Johnson Bank, member FDIC. Creekside Market has 3 locations in Southern Greene County to serve. So while you're traveling to or from any game, stop by and pick up a Hunt Brothers Pizza for those football Friday nights or Saturday afternoons. Creekside Market just off the 107. Locations on the Asheville Highway, Camp Creek, and the Irwin Highway. Creekside Markets in Greene County.
A little onside attempt. It's going to be fielded at the 35, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Pioneers! Touchdown! Matt Levine out of Anderson, South Carolina. Tried a little trickery and the Pioneers called their bluff.
Welcome back into the Frankie DeBusk TV show, where you can view each week on our YouTube page through TusculumPioneers.com, and you can follow Tusculum Pioneer football there as well, TusculumPioneers.com, and of course on the Pioneer Sports Network, AM 1450 WSNG, and RedZoneMedia.com. This coming Saturday, the Tusculum Pioneers will travel to the East Coast and travel all the way to the coast of North Carolina, Elizabeth City, North Carolina, to take on the Vikings of Elizabeth City State University. Last year, a thrilling game, might have been Bo Cordell's one of his best college games ever passing offensively, a 54-41 final. They made a pretty impressive statement in the second half, coming back on the road as they did. Coach, we're getting ready to travel about eight hours in a bus with a team that should be veteran, should be ready for this type of atmosphere and this type of road game. Do you feel you're ready?
Absolutely, Brian. I mean, our kids, we've said it a whole fall camp, our football team would do anything that we ask them to do right now. They are just so focused and so excited and so eager and so hungry. You know, I hope we can handle the road trip like you should. We are a veteran bunch. We do have some freshmen and sophomores traveling for the first time, but you know, it's time for us to go on the road and win a football game. And you know, Elizabeth City State is going to be a good football team. It'll be a great environment. They lost last week to North Carolina Central Division I AA or FCS program and lost pretty handily, but I'm sure they're going to be eager to try to get a win. They will be one of the most talented teams we play year in and year out. We've beat them here, they've beat us there. We need to go over there and try to find a way to get us a win.
It is a team that the Pioneers haven't played all the time. A lot of it, some of that is travel, but in the series, going there, not so good, but at Pioneer Field has usually spelled a win. So if you take a look at it that way, it's not good news, but I think this team is different. I think this is different. But they say your most improvement from game 1 to game 2. You had an extension of your camp against the College of Faith. Do you treat this as a game 1, or is this game 2 of the season?
Well, we're 1-0 right now, and we sure won't apologize for that. So we're going into game 2. However, it's going to be a completely different animal. I mean, we have got to make sure we are fundamentally sound coming out of game 2 as much as we were game 1. They're a different football team. They'll be much more athletic. They're huge up front. They got some big, pretty linebackers running around. Their defensive line's big. They got talent. They got a lot of talent, and we have got to go do our part. We're not really worried about what they do. We've got to do our part and treat it like it is our first football game, because we really don't know what we're going to be. But we got to make plays like it's our second, because this is obviously our second opportunity.
All right, and finally, Malcolm Pendergrass took over the helm for Bo Cordell, who had started every season opener for 5 years and then was hurt that 1 year. So Malcolm starts. What did you see? How does he have to improve? Does he have to improve to run the offense the way he did now against Elizabeth City State?
Well, I was really pleased with his poise and his posture as much as anything in game 1. You know, he's not played college football. So I'm sure he was excited. I'm sure he had butterflies. I'm sure of all that. But Malcolm's got that calm demeanor that you really like to have. He's not a fiery guy right now yet. He ran the offense like we'd want him to do. He's made the throws we needed him to make. He made a couple of errant throws, but that's the name of the game. I was pleased with how he ran our offense, and now we're going to take him to a different environment. I'm excited about what he brings to the table, and he needs to relax and enjoy and play college football once again.
Congratulations on the win. Best of luck this week.
Thank you, Brian.
Pioneer coach Frankie DeBusk, as the Tusculum Pioneers open the year 1-0 with the win against College of Faith, take on the Elizabeth City State Vikings on Saturday. It'll be a 4 o'clock kickoff time. You can join the Pioneer Sports Network coverage beginning at 3 o'clock with our kickoff show coverage. And that's on AM 1450 WSNG worldwide through TusculumPioneers.com. PioneerSportsNetwork.com, powered by Red Zone Media. We're back again next week, and we'll bring you the recap of the show by video. This week, I'd like to thank Cody Santmeyer for all the great shots and the great video footage that you were able to see of the game this past week. Until next week, for Coach Frankie DeBusk, for Nathan Humbert, Cody Santmeyer, I'm Brian Stayton. Go Pioneers!
This has been the Frankie DeBusk Show with head coach Frankie DeBusk, featuring coaches' interviews, player spotlights, highlights, and statistical breakdowns.
Presented by Gateway Ford Lincoln Mazda, home of the big deal, located on the 11E bypass in Greenville. Sodexo, a world leader in food and facilities management services. Sodexo, making every day a better day. Your Greenville Light and Power System, serving Greenville and Greene County since 1945. Green Coach Tours, proudly serving the traveling public since 1945. Andrew Johnson Bank, a strong heritage, a stronger future. Home owned and operated with locations in Johnson City, Jonesboro, Morristown, Cleveland, and Greenville. Creekside Markets, don't pass by, stop by, with 3 locations in Greene County. Special consideration from Comcast Cable through Xfinity.
The Frankie DeBusk Show is a special presentation of the Pioneer Sports Network.